Welcome to Web Handling. My name is Dave Roysam. I am super excited to return to my very popular series on great questions in web handling. In this clip, we cover a most vital web machine design question. That is, what is the best roller diameter, and how do you know that you have it? I know your time is precious, so let's get started. This is a great question, as are all clips in this series. What makes a great question, you ask? First, rollers are the most common element and are the building blocks of our web machinery. Second, rollers affect the economics of web machine design, purchase, and operation. So getting the answer right matters. Third, it is not easy to give a short, simple answer, but I will try my best here. So let's get started. "30 years ago, I gave a conference paper entitled The 10 Commandments of Web Machine Design, which was all about rollers. It was soon followed by a still in print Mechanics of Rollers book, and later still in a chapter in the must-have 750-page Web Handling Handbook. In those publications, we teach how you must first select roller width. If you size the width too big, you cost the company money. If you size it too small, you really cost your company money. Only when you get the answer just right do you maximize profit. This is detailed in pages 105 through 108 in the handbook. Once you size width, then you are ready to size diameter. Here again, if you size it too big, you cost your company money. If you size it too small, you really cost your company money. Only when you get the answer just right do you maximize profit. This is detailed in pages 108 through 111 in the handbook, so we only need to outline the issues here. The roller diameter must be big enough to satisfy at least 7 criteria. However, most do not apply for any specific roller. For example, heat transfer and idler rollers is a non-issue. Similarly, bend radius for webs that are thin is also a non-issue. These are detailed in the handbook and elsewhere. The good news is that deflection is usually the only criteria for most rollers, and it is easy to apply this criteria. The roller will bend under its own weight and under web tension. Some rollers are nipped, and that is an even larger force that must be resisted. What resists bending is simply roller diameter. It must be big enough. Anything beyond that is wasteful, except for those special cases listed in the last slide. So, the salient question is this: how much deflection is too much? The answer was well known at least a half century ago and codified in engineering standards at the largest web machine builders. For most situations, a Class B deflection is good enough, though some special situations may require a bit tighter and a few can be a bit looser. Think of this as a key aspect of mechanical quality. The maximum allowable deflection is on the order of the thickness of a human hair for most medium-sized machines. Once you select a mechanical quality, in other words, deflection class, you can go to either the book to calculate the roller diameter to ensure that roller deflection is not risked. Fortunately, the free and easy Abbott app will do this calculation for you. Let me take a moment here to illustrate just one of the other criteria that must be satisfied for one of the less common situations. Specifically, how do we size roller diameter for heated or cooled rollers? Well, we must first determine the dwell time of the web in contact with the hot or cold roller surface. This is a product process design question that requires heat transfer and will not be detailed here. All we need to know here is that it might take 8 idler roller sized rollers to get an equivalent dwell time as one big cylinder. However, the big cylinder is better, faster, and cheaper than the 8 tiny cylinders, and thus is why most heated rollers are considerably larger than idler rollers. Getting the basics right really matters. If you size the rollers too big, you cost your company extra money. However, if you size the rollers too small, you really cost the company extra money. So this is both an economic and engineering question. So how do you know if your machine builder or buyer got it right? Well, one way would be to check the sizes against the criteria we just covered. However, there's a simpler way to uncover some cases of poor sizing. That is, all idler rollers should almost certainly have the same width, diameter, and style. If they do not, you should send your designer to web school. Literally. Thank you so very much for allowing me to share my thoughts on great questions in web handling. Stay tuned for next week's show where we will talk about roller surfaces. If you found something interesting or useful here, please like and share and subscribe. See you next time.